Narvik grew restless, wondering what happened to all those he had seen in his visions. There has to be somebody who lived through all this. It seems there was a group of survivors on the lighthouse. Just because I found this journal in a sunken ship doesn't mean that they didn't have life rafts, or that there weren't any survivors at all. I have to think. If the ship sunk near my island, any survivors might have ended up on nearby shores. Maravik returned to the lighthouse, where his flashbacks had began. If they set off in this direction, and my island is over there, maybe if I sail towards my island and then see where the current takes me, I can head in that direction. The current seems to be pulling in this direction. It's worth a shot. Amazing! I can see buildings in the distance. They don't look like the advanced ones that I've seen near the factory. I think I can even make out some people. They're still survivors of this disaster. Hello, traveler. It's been many years since we've seen newcomers, and in the last few weeks there have been several now. Are you friend or foe? Hello. I bear you no ill intent. We've been stranded on an island nearby for several months now. I'm from another realm, cast here. What happened to this world? How long have you all lived here? I have so many questions. I'm glad to hear you don't have an evil heart, but know that those who visited recently tried to cause us harm. We cannot admit you until it has been approved by the elders. Please, speak with our High Cleric in the church. Maravik headed towards the church to await an audience with the High Cleric. He had finally found the remnants of this shattered civilization. Now, maybe some of his questions would be answered. Hello there, and welcome back to Gaulia. In today's episode, we're going to finish off this village here. So I've been actually doing a decent amount of terraforming, just when I'm bored and have a couple minutes to hop on. I've been very busy with my job, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to record. And when I do have free time, I haven't necessarily wanted to stress about having to make videos and things like that. But I'm back, at least for a couple days, and we want to work on this village. I want to finish this off. So one of the main reasons, we were working on this village is just to organize our villages a little bit, but I also want to use this in the lore. We've been doing a lot of pre-collapse kind of lore sections, but I do want to progress Marivik's story a little bit. So having him discover this village, I think is going to be something that is going to be what I'm going to do next. In fact, you guys might have already even seen that section, depending on if I put that in this episode or not. Um, because I'm not editing yet, and I don't know what editor me is going to do, because that's definitely not, same person. Anyway, I got a little villager mod. Oh, you haven't seen this building yet. You know what? Let me put on a little time lapse of this bad boy, and then I'll take you through everything. I built this for the last episode and didn't include it because the last episode got too long. So, time lapse go. So I got a little villager mod. Um, I don't know that I'm going to use it all the time, but probably it's a resource pack. Uh, what's it called? So the resource pack is called Human Era Villagers and Illagers, and it just makes the people look a little more, you know, human-like, not have giant thinking noses. It turns the iron golems into these knight-like creatures things. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna use that for the village when we're here interacting with people. The villagers just kind of like break my immersion in the lore section, and because I don't have a bunch of other players, this I figured was the best way to do some of these little lore segments around this village. So if you remember, we worked on a lot of this village, but the one thing I hadn't shown you was this stonecutters um, little building here. I wanted to make something that really stuck out a little bit different. Like, these are the masons of the village, so they made themselves this very ornate kind of build. I haven't been doing anything super fortressy in this one, more like these type of vessel towers, but I thought it was fitting for the stonecutters, so they have their own little work area in here. I can find them all for trading purposes pretty easily. And then back, they have kind of like a little yard, and where they have like different stone blocks they might be working on or cut into size or shape. And yeah, I thought it was a nice little build to add to the village. But really, what I've been doing is a lot of terraforming, breaking down some of these, sandy mountains and adding little paths. And I've been focusing on this area because this is going to be where our farm is. So working on these cliff faces, and I want to have like tiered kind of farmland going on up here. Probably break down stuff over here and have this like tiered kind of area for our farms. So yeah, we're gonna build a barn kind of structure here, a farmhouse kind of thing up here, and then tear down these builds and that one, and maybe put another generic house or two. And that should be kind of the end of this village. We might expand as time goes on, but that'll get us going. So let's jump right in and start working on tearing everything down. I want to keep one of these, like this one probably, just for, you know, reference to the old village, but we'll tear this one down. Well, I think that's basically the end of everything that needs to get torn down. Torn down, torn down. So now I'm going to start building a barn and some kind of a farmhouse. And the barn's going to go right here. And we're going to use a mangrove pale oak style barn. So I don't know that I have that on me. Probably going to need more mangrove, which will probably annoy me. The whole tree farming area is currently set up for, I believe, spruce and dark oak, maybe? Or maybe just oak and dark oak. So let's hope we have some mangrove. Mangrove strip. We're gonna make do. So essentially, I want to make this a double wide doorway. So we can have double doors or whatnot to go into this thing. So we'll do something like that. And then I want to have essentially animal pens in here. Probably 3 deep. And then we can have the edge of the actual barn itself. I'm just going to place a couple of blocks as spacers so I can get a sense of what I want. So 1, 2, 1, 2. That'll give us 3. We'll make it 4 pens deep, maybe. Gonna have to strip a little bit of this pale oak here. That looks really weird. So that goes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, essentially. So we're gonna go, I believe, 2, 3, 4. I want to be able to have essentially windows in the front. I don't actually need windows in the front. Windows on the sides. And then the outline. Kind of looking something like that. There we go. So I think that'll have like a nice barn kind of look to it. I'll probably do this here. Probably stairs here, barn doors there. And then for the windows back here, and I'm probably going to put like fences in the windows. Do the same thing on this side. So I think that's a pretty simple barn shape. And then we'll get a roof line going. So for the roof, we're going to use a pale oak outline. But I want to kind of make this like a barn style roof. So we're going to go up like a double, and then we'll do a stair and a stair. And then I think one more stair. I couldn't undo on that. I could mulligan on this one. And then I think the slab. And where does it put us? Does that look good? We're just gonna try something. I think that might be a little better. So basically I'm looking for like a roof. I don't know if anybody's seen the Lego Minecraft barn set. It's actually sitting right next to me. So that's kind of what I'm looking at when I'm trying to do this here. That kind of roof line. 1, 2, 3, slab. Slabity slab. I think we're gonna actually have to go like that. Now we're just gonna use deep slate because I want something dark to contrast the light. Take a look. I think that's gonna look good. We can put some more white and red up in there. Yeah, this will be good. I like it. It is absolutely pouring outside of my house right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that through this microphone. I'm sorry if you can. There we go. It is a big old barn. I gotta work on my scale, I guess. Do I need windows? I'm gonna say no. But I'll do maybe like one there. I think that'll be good. And that's kind of the basis of our barn. Very simple. I thought I had some fences up here, but apparently not. I think instead of glass, I want to use like fences for the barn. I think we'll go for something like that on either side. So I figure we'll just do some double gates here. We can get some animals in here, make it look, like a used barn. I'll throw a little loft area up there for some like hay and stuff. I love having a creeper farm. I can just burn through rockets like nobody's business. I don't even have a sugarcane farm. I just periodically harvest whatever I have planted in the area. Works just fine without it. I like doing little loft areas in my barns. Usually I'll put like hay bales up here or something, like, I don't know, gives it a little bit more of a, like there's a little life to it. I don't hate that. We throw a couple of chests up here just for good measure, right? I'm gonna need some hay bales, which is good because I need some seeds to plant more hay. Or wheat, I guess it's called. I play this game. I know what I'm talking about. We'll get some of that decorated up in the loft area. Work on planting some more of our wheat fields at some point. Probably should have a crafting table in here, just because you have to have one everywhere. And then we just kind of drop these things all over the place. It kind of has that feel when you're in here that there's like stuff stored up there. Obviously, we need to let more of this stuff grow, but eventually we'll have a bunch of it all over the place. That's a bit of wheat. A little terraforming down here. Clean this area up a little bit. I think that's a good start on the farmland there. Some fields will grow in here. Kind of got a little path that wraps around the farm, comes up here, and then we'll put our farmer's house probably up here. So as far as the house, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything too crazy. Just a nice little house for our farmer. Oh, mate, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a nice little simple stone outline on the bottom here. Chimney right there. Ooh, maybe like a regular terracotta. Oh, see, this thing breaks sometimes. Thing. Redstone is not my strong point, but it's a pretty easy troubleshoot. Let's see. Nice window here. We could do a window here. This is going to be our fireplace, so let's actually not do that. And then definitely a window here. Or something like that. Might change it if we want to, but simple. KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. There is something pleasurable about just rehanding houses and not getting crazy with builds and, just building a little village. Like, I'm going to return to the city, but this is kind of like the relaxing way to play Minecraft, right? Don't plan it out in the creative world. Go look at what you have. Take a step back. Look at it from different angles. Now, what kind of roof do I want to put on here? We'll go with a tough spruce. Maybe tough dark oak. What are you doing in there? Silly. Give me carrots, please. I wanted to make, like somewhat of a more interesting roof line. Have different heights, that type of thing going on. Well, there you have it. Basic little house. I mean, I'll certainly add some details to it and fill out the missing areas, but I think that works. Farmer's house. Probably get more buildings in over time, but this is at least... Oh no, we still have this one. Ooh, I forgot about you. You gotta go. Tear that one down too. Missed that in the teardown session. All right, well, let's check out what we've done. So, some of this is on, some of this is off camera. I think our village is basically complete. You know, it could grow over time, but we have something that I'm willing to introduce in the lore section. Unlike the city, where I kind of want to suspend disbelief as buildings are going to pop up for the duration of the series, I wanted this village to be mostly complete before I bring Maravik here. So, this is kind of what we've been working on for the last, 2 episodes now. It all started with the church over here, but now we have like a nice little area to like kind of come into the village. So like I imagine that the church is like one of the older buildings, maybe pre-collapse. It was on this island for some reason or another, like a monastery or a retreat. And all these other buildings have been built by the survivors. And we have like a little fishing hut over here, blacksmith. And then the one thing that I wanted, which I think worked out well, is this varying height lines. So like you can see the rooftops of the village hall behind the stonemason's house there. So having this height difference instead of just flat clearing land like I seem to normally do with my villages, I think this was really nice. Plus it gave me the option to do a lot of this like nice terraforming, which I find very relaxing. Like, there's a lot of time I just spend playing, just doing like little bits of terraforming. So you got all this stuff up here. We've already seen a lot of this, so we'll head over in this direction. So I also wanted multiple paths to kind of get around. So although you have like the main drag through there, we have this little, rear path. You figure people would walk in different places. It's a little less developed. I did make a diagonal building. I've never done one of these before, to be fair. But I'll tell you what, up close, I don't really care for it that much. But from a distance, you don't notice. And that's one thing I'm trying to wrap my head around with Minecraft, is the idea of like background stuff versus foreground stuff. So for the most part, we're probably walking through here, and that just, it's a passing build as we're walking this way towards more popping structures like the barn or whatnot, or this thing. So this I kind of built as like that very medieval style build. I think maybe these both could be like farmhouses of sorts. Have like a little water area here, built a little bridge. And then up here to our barn, past our barn. Actually, if you haven't, I don't know if I've shown the inside of this, but we have fully redid all the floors for the most part with some mud. Put our little composter in here so our farmer guy will actually hang out in here. Put a couple of lamps up there. I haven't had any spawns down below. I might try to add just a little lake in somewhere. And then up here is our little farmhouse area. Actually did a whole nice interior for this, little desk, everything like that. And then kind of our farming area. So I expanded our... The problem is these villager guys are just going to keep getting stuck. So I'm going to have to figure that out at some point. Essentially, they can come up here and then get over here, I believe is what's happening. But, yeah, they're getting stuck everywhere. So I may have to level these out and just have, like, normal fences, which is frustrating. If anybody has a solution for that, because these guys are going to keep getting stuck in here, and that's a problem. And then, I don't know, I might put something up here at some point. Honestly, a windmill might go well up here. I was thinking of another grain field, but now I'm literally just popping in my head a windmill might be a good idea. Never built one of those before. So yeah, I think it's a nice like city, or not city, but little village area for, this could be the survivors little town. Um, I'd be open to naming suggestions if anybody has a town name for it. And the one thing I tried to do was, you know, I lost it out. Like, as I push out this way, I haven't done it yet, but like a lot of the stuff that's up and close, like, is all terraformed, right? Like the cliff faces, the rocks. This was very much a natural feature that I just kind of enhanced with a little bit of terraforming, but this like rock arch, uh, a little pond area. It's just I wanted to feel like a lot of this was touched, and I think I think it worked. So let me know what you guys think about the village. I had a good time making this, and it's been very relaxing just coming in and terraforming when I have, not too much time or don't feel like recording. I'll build out something, maybe a little market area here. I never did put the market in that I had planned on doing originally. Okay, well, this seems like a great place to wrap this episode up. We finished our entire village, and at this point are ready to move on to another project. I'm sure we'll come back and build some things in this village from time to time. If inspiration so falls upon us. But in the meantime, I think this is a good place to call it. So as always, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, like and subscribe definitely help me out. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.